since it's another day, billions will kneel and pray. Anything to aid escape from the world so cold and gray.
That's a good boy.
And we're back with another episode of Buns Toast. We're here with you today on this glorious Tuesday morning, sort of.
Yeah.
Afternoon, what have you.
Right around noon.
Yeah. Starting to warm up. Ground's starting to melt. Hey, we got through the first week of the season of sacrifice with all of our lives intact.
I'm glad and disappointed that there was no earthquake.
I can understand. You know, I know you wanted it.
I like chaos.
It's
very important to me.
I love chaos.
Here with us in the studio today
Yeah, Dr. Doug.
is the doctor.
It's the
Dr. Doug Hurdy, not a doctor, is back.
It's a good doctor, boy. Fake doctorate, though, boy.
Fake doctor for now.
Yeah, for now.
Quick side note before we get into this. Isom got fired for stealing lumber at Menards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Save big money at McDonald's.
Hashtag free Dion, you know?
What the fuck?
Said he spent like $50 and then tried to take $1,800 worth of lumber. Y'all tripping.
Wow.
So, that was just a little inside baseball, you know?
Reparations.
Let those with ears hear.
Oh, that won't be in the show.
That PC.
I figured once we start talking about we'd probably just delete all that. Yeah. Might as well just drop the bomb on it, you know?
Yeah. So we're here.
Yeah,
you know,
we're here, we're queer, we're ready to do it.
before we get started on today's topic, which for those of you wondering, we're going to be talking about the Wonderland Club later on. But for now, I think there's some things we need to talk about.
Yes.
What, some recent events?
I would say so.
A lot of recent events.
You know, so just a recap for all of you that have been living underneath the rock for the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
There's a new conspiracy.
Oh, is there? There's a
The new
conspiracy with it?
conspiracy is that Robert Mueller has been compromised by the Russians.
I'm glad that you...
Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh, my fucking
I'm glad
God.
you pronounce it Mueller, too, because I
Suck a
found out the
dick.
other day that it's pronounced Mueller.
Whatever.
I looked it up, too.
I like to
make
say
sure.
Mueller, kind of like
it looks like
Bueller.
Yeah,
Mueller.
but it looks like you'd say it as
Mueller.
Mueller, not Mueller, because it's got that M-U-E.
He kind of looks like a grumpy old fucking alley cat that
Yeah.
would be mewling. You
So-
know, in the middle of
On Friday, we're going to call him Mueller just for my own pleasure,
Mueller.
even though I know it's Mueller.
This is our fucking show.
Yeah,
We can say whatever we want.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Except that one word I deleted.
yeah. Friday, he came out and said, I am done. After like almost 2 years and $25 million, I am done compiling my report about the so-called collusion between the Donald Trump campaign and the government of Russia. And he said that he was turning over everything he had to the Attorney General. The Attorney General, in part, said, I'm going to compile a summary of this report, and I'm going to give my verdict on it over the weekend.
Verdict.
So Saturday, was it Saturday? No, Sunday. He dropped his letter to basically everybody involved, Congress, the president, and everybody else. It was a 4-page letter that more or less just broke it down and said, there will be no more indictments.
Sorry.
There was no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, and that
Fake news.
yeah, that was about it, really.
Yeah.
Didn't really summarize anything else. But you know, and the crazy part to me is like now the Democrats' talking point is, well, we want the full report. Everybody wants the full report. Nobody in this entire scheme of things has said we don't want full disclosure.
I hope that it's like
Right?
what we talked about yesterday, where the full report just leads into the QAnon shit.
See that, and that's what I was thinking too. Because like I feel like the reason the Attorney General doesn't want to release the full report is because when people do investigations like this, they have to investigate everybody that is in that sphere, right? Like so, even people that necessarily weren't part of the Trump campaign, they have to figure out these avenues, right? And in the process of doing so, they find things out about people. Now, normally that shit stays sealed.
Usually like that skeevy shit.
Yeah.
Like skeevy lawyers.
And skeevy politicians.
Right.
Jewy, if you will.
Doing shit that is like doing shit that is quasi illegal.
Scheming and what have you.
But like I said, I told Bones yesterday, I was like, it's like this. He's trying to give them this report, just a summary of it, right? Because he knows that if he gives them the full thing and there's full disclosure and we all get to see what was inside this whole report, everything that he came up with, that is just going to be filled with what I called threads. Threads to pull. I was like, that's what it's going to be. I can guarantee it. Going in all fucking manner of direction.
That lead to
everything.
No collusion.
Well, no. That's the thing, though. Through the process of figuring out that there was no collusion, they found out other things about other people. You know what I mean? Like, they obviously had to find out where the dirty dossier came from. You know? And figured out who's the one that passed it along to the media and all that.
It's just it's a impending shit show, it looks like.
I like the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is, no one has said we don't want the full... anybody involved. Trump said he wants the whole thing released. The Republicans saying they want the whole thing released. The Democrats, for some reason, are using that as a talking point, like anybody's in opposition to it. Which I guess they're good at that. Like, let's make something a thing that isn't actually a thing because everybody wants the same thing you want.
Basically. I mean, you know.
I'm just glad that charges have been dropped against Jesse Smollett.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
What?
Yep.
For real?
It's on Drudge.
Oh.
Why were the charges? Did you see why the charges were dropped?
Just says
I heard that
all charges,
the money.
all charges dropped against Empire actor Jesse Smollett, who was accused of staging a race-hate attack on himself, but will still have to surrender a $10,000 bond. Smollett's lawyers announced Tuesday that all charges had been dropped. He was facing 48 years behind bars on 16 felony charges.
Why were they dropped? If I were to do something like that, they would throw my ass in prison.
Shut your white ass up.
Does it have something to do with money? And
I don't know. I think it has something to do with melanin, perhaps.
Probably.
Melanin power.
Yep. Kang.
I don't know.
It's fine. Just another... I just glanced over at Drudge, and here we are.
No, but... So that being said, I think that about wraps up the big thing that went on over the weekend. There was no earthquake or anything, so...
It's like we said, it's good and it's bad.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard of anything else exciting going on. I mean...
No. Other than...
Everywhere you look, it's just Trump. Yeah. Collusion, Russian, collusion, bombshell, collusion.
People fucking... As like you could
just one
hear
bombshell after the other.
Sunday afternoon when the Attorney General released his fucking statement about the report, it's like you could collectively hear the autistic screeching of millions of people all across the country at the same time. And they're, you know, here's the fucked up part, is they're going to have a really hard time trying to like admonish Mueller and all this because they spent the last like 2 years like defending that man against like Trump and saying he's doing the good work. Leave him alone.
Incorruptible.
Yeah. He's incorruptible.
What about all this fucking anti-vaxxer propaganda?
That's everywhere?
It's fucking everywhere. It's even in TikTok videos.
Everywhere you go.
What do you mean, like, against anti-vaxxers or for anti-vaxxers?
Talking shit about anti-vaxxers.
Oh, that's everywhere.
I know. I mean, it just seems like a rise. It's even on Drudge again. Talking about New York County bans anyone who hasn't had a measles shot from entering due to a measles outbreak. I wonder, you know...
Then they talked really a lot of crazy shit about that Kentucky governor who said that he doesn't think that vaccines should be mandatory. He did, however, get his children vaccinated. He's not anti-vaxxer.
Right.
But just because he said they shouldn't be mandatory, the left is like berating him.
Nothing should be mandatory. You're a free fucking human being.
Right. It's exactly what he's saying. And they're like all up in arms because he said that nothing should be mandatory. And they're like, anti-vaxxer!
Shut the fuck up.
Get him!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, man, for some things, but goddamn, like, we talked before about, like, the flu shot and stuff.
Yeah.
It's completely bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like we're approaching a time, if you're the deep state, right?
Yeah.
And this whole Mueller thing happened, whether or not he's on their side or not, you'd have to be charged enough to do something fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Because you just lost your entire fucking dog and pony show.
Uh-huh.
What do you think it's going to be? They don't want us to stop them from fucking all the babies.
Yeah.
You know?
The babies.
So you leave the babies alone.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's been Everything's been holding its breath for such a long fucking time.
Yeah.
When's it gonna happen?
I think they're gonna hold the breath till 2020.
I don't know. I mean,
You gonna pass out or what? I mean, how long can you hold your fucking breath for?
I mean, it seems to me that it's just slowly killing people off.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty
in the
sure
proverbial sense,
that if anything is going to
slowly taking control,
Taking over the academias.
If anything's going to kick off the civil war in this country, it's going to be the result of the 2020 election.
Man, I can't wait to see Trump win that. You know,
what's that meme I sent you the other day?
Listen.
Or tagged you in it. Said had this 3 circles like 1984, A Brave New World, and there was another one, and it had all 3 circles like converging, and in the center it said "You are here."
yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I feel like that's true.
Totally true.
Well,
It's like if you want to read any of those books, you're just reading about one facet of society right now.
Right.
yeah. Well, it's like, I think Aldous Huxley, I remember reading a prologue in Brave New World, one of the copies, and he kind of discussed the fact that, like, he disagreed with George Orwell, because George Orwell drew his thing that was that they will control us through, like, withholding, right?
Like women.
They'll deprive us.
Yeah.
They'll deprive us, and that will garner control, because if they deprive us of what we need,
You can't have this pussy.
and only dole it out in small amounts,
Yeah.
they could control you that way. Aldous Huxley said, no, he's like, if they really want to control us, they'll give us everything we want. We'll get every form of drug, entertainment, and anything you want. It will all come from the state, wrapped and packaged for you.
That's the thing, man. It's like they don't have it that way, but they do. You know what I mean? It's like you can get anything. Not that hard.
No.
It's pretty much freely available to anybody with legs.
Yeah.
Some people without legs. But they'll still lock your ass up for it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's a goddamn giant chessboard.
Mm-hmm.
3 dimensions.
You're right. Now, I don't know if there's anybody that could go up against Trump.
No. What about, we talked about that dude Hickenlooper the other day. Talking about watching porn with his mom.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What?
Yeah.
That's not weird or anything. That sounds like some.
He defended it. Like when they asked him about it, he was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Like, what are you tripping about?"
That sounds like some exhibition shit you watch on like
Sounds like a fucking
XNXX or something.
sounds like a Midwest
Well, it's
United States porn search.
I think I talked about it in the last
real.
episode. A lot of them are really, some of them who are starting to come up quick are coming up quick because they're talking about the UBI.
Mother with not son run for president. Sorry.
No, Andrew.
the universal basic income.
Yes.
How many did you say are on board with that?
There's a bunch already, and it's one of those things that it continues to get pushed. So other candidates kind of had to be like, "Oh yeah, I was on board with it the whole time," and I think probably Andrew Yang. I don't know if you guys know about him.
He was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's
I didn't
actually-
listen to it, but I read some.
What is he?
in the grand scheme of things,
He's running. He's a Democrat.
Presidential candidate?
Yeah. Like there's like a million of them at this point.
Yeah, I'd say like
But he's-
78
he's
or
an-
79.
He has an interesting platform though, because he's like pro UBI, but he's not on the social politics or the.
He's also anti-circumcision. FYE.
Is he? But he's not an SJ. He's anti SJW though too.
So he wants a paycheck in every bank account and an anteater in every pair of pants. Is that what
Are
we're
you gonna
talking?
be mad about it? You know?
No, I'm just saying. I'm trying to figure out a slogan.
Yeah.
So instead of like the donkey and the elephant, it'd be like the anteater and the elephant.
I feel like the whole UBI thing is just another
Uncut
way.
dicks, uncut checks.
Yeah,
cut
exactly.
checks, not dicks.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, man.
Andrew Yang,
See,
2020.
we just bastardized that dude's life, right? Well, that's what Trump's going to be doing during the entire process of selection. He's just going to be shooting them motherfuckers down.
It took us less than
Wasting
2
millions.
minutes to come up with his true campaign slogan.
Yeah.
Cut checks, not dicks.
Man.
in less than
Listen,
5 minutes.
We need to have somebody put that together, and we'll put it on a shirt.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
Yeah. I'm totally on board with that now.
I almost like that dude just from what you said about him for maybe 3 seconds, and then I decided it was time for him to die. You know?
Then you have guys like, what's that dude? Buttigieg. I can't pronounce his name.
What the fuck's up with these
Who is
names,
this guy?
too? Buttygate?
He's the guy. Okay, so
this is real.
where Yang is like, hey, I don't want to play the race game.
What about Yin? What's he doing?
Right.
You know, Yin and Yang.
I don't want to play the race game. But Buttigieg is going in hard, and you're gonna laugh. His name's
Hard?
His name's Buttigieg, right?
Buttigieg
His
is
butt
going in
his
hard.
name, and he's gay.
And he's going in
my
hard,
God.
guys.
There's nothing funnier to me right now than butt sex. That's pretty funny.
I don't care. It doesn't matter if it's gay butt sex or regular butt sex.
Well, it doesn't
It's
really
funny
matter.
either
You're
way.
not gonna. I mean, it's fucking 2019.
Yeah.
You know.
Can we laugh about butt sex
Yeah,
again?
just fucking. I mean, we've already had a gay president.
Make
you know?
butt sex. Maybe if Buttigieg, his campaign still goes, make butt sex funny again.
Is
Right.
Michelle
I'd
Michael.
vote for him.
Yeah,
You
you're
gonna see
goddamn
that?
right. I watched that documentary.
What about, is that Obama's brother?
No, man.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Malik.
Yeah.
Oh,
his
yeah.
brother. He tweeted that a couple weeks ago. Is Michelle Michael?
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
dude. That's gotta be an awkward family reunion right there.
I tell you
know?
what's awkward is when that she gets up in the middle of the night and has to stand to piss all over the toilet. You know what I mean? That bitch has a dick.
and then Barry gets mad because he goes to sit down.
Yeah. Michael, I thought I told you to put the goddamn seat down.
I think this
You
whole
won't
like
get in here and take
UBI
this
thing
dick.
though, for real, is just like it's turning everyone into the victimhood.
What is? Sorry.
The UBI.
Turning everybody, yeah.
Here's the thing,
It's
though.
another step towards victim. Everyone's a victim, and you deserve something. You know what? You don't have to work for anything. You don't have to do anything. You deserve all this.
But here's the thing, though.
Don't try. You don't have to work hard. It's just
Right.
basically making everyone like.
Sit down
But
play
here's the thing, though.
guitar.
You can't discount the inevitable push towards complete automation.
Eventually, yeah, but at this point right now, there's more jobs available than there are people.
Right.
You're right. You're 100% right. Maybe they're just they're 20 years too early.
MAGA motherfucker.
Because here's the thing, like, automation is coming.
Yeah, man.
Every walking fucking dog robot that you see
Yeah,
is
sure.
one
yeah.
step closer to, like, us just being phased out as a full workforce. Like,
Here's the thing, though. Like, energy is basically the slavery, right? Like, you got to pay for gasoline. You got to pay to keep your house heated. You got to pay for electricity.
yeah.
All those things don't have to be paid for. You know, we've talked before about, like, the 0 point energy, the free energy. I'm pretty sure that shit exists. You know, considering that the energy companies buy up all those patents
Yeah.
to sit on the shit. Do we really need UBI, or could we just make shit free?
I was just doing this project the other
Like
day.
Star Trek
for
style.
school.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you have, like
Star Trek doesn't have, like, they're like, oh, well, we don't have money anymore.
Yeah.
Money's not, like, a thing.
if you're not controlling prices on commodities, then see, but that would be not slavery. They want slavery. They want everybody on the check. That way, if you talk crazy and your social credit drops, they're like, "Sorry,
They
we
can
got
put you into the wasteland.
we got to turn you. We got to turn off your check, big dog. You're fucking over here talking crazy."
By the wasteland, do you mean, like,
He does.
North Dakota? Because that's what I think of as the wasteland.
Oh, I thought you meant the.
I was thinking about the Brave New World wasteland.
Oh,
I guess
see.
it probably is North Dakota or Kansas or something.
Yeah.
I was all the way off. I thought you were talking about the gunslinger.
Well, yeah, same idea.
Yeah.
You're telling me that
Weeds growing everywhere,
they'll
man.
create. That's what
Devil
they.
weed.
Some like 10 years down the road, we're gonna have a presidential candidate like, I want to open a portal to another another universe and send all our undesirables to said universe.
Yeah. Man, and then after that, it's kill all. Can't even talk. Kill all others.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
Listen, Kill All Others, as far as I'm concerned, is the best like psyop in the history of psyops.
Would you ever be like? How surprised would you be if it got to that point? Seeing what we've seen in the last 2 years, how crazy shit's gotten.
Oh, I won't be surprised at all.
Talking about fucking infanticide, right?
'Cause,
like
like-
it's normal, and yeah, kill all others could totally happen.
Kill All Others is basically it's a dog whistle for defectors. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's like
Is that Black Mirror? What show is that?
no, that was Electric Dreams.
Check that out.
That's a good show.
I just forgot we were doing a podcast, but yeah, check out that show.
Yeah.
Episode Kill All Others. It'll fuck your head up. Have you seen it?
What's that all about?
Man,
I watched some of the Electric Dream ones, but
It's the one where the guy it's like him and 2 other people work at a factory. So they're the only 3 people that work there.
because the union had to save 3 jobs. You know.
Yeah. And his wife, like, she just like watches TV all day, and he's like,
it's the future of America, guys.
yeah, and it's like they're trying
We're
to. I
living
think
it
they're
now.
trying to merge, or they already happened. They merged Canada, the United States, and Mexico into one country, right? And there's like a presidential election,
Isn't that what NAFTA did?
and yeah.
NAFTA
And one of the
superhighway.
candidates, like, he's watching the debate, and like she's doing one of her talking points, and just like randomly in her talking point, she just says "kill all others," and like he's like, "Wait a minute,
What the fuck did she just say?
yeah, what the fuck did she just say?" And he asked his wife, like, "Did you hear that?" And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he goes to work the next day, and he's talking to his buddies at work about it. And they're like, oh, man, we don't talk about politics.
I don't get into that kind of stuff.
So then, like, he, like, progressively as this campaign goes on, keeps seeing, like, he sees, like, billboards that say, kill all others on it and shit like that. And he's like, what the fuck is this shit?
What's going on
What
there?
the fuck is going on here? It's probably it might be my favorite episode of that series.
All those episodes made me uncomfortable, but that one was probably my favorite.
I would say that one, and there's the one with the girl who gets the little device, it's like the social media device.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it starts like she's talking to like customer service or whatever. That
shit was crazy.
Yeah, that one's pretty good too.
I want to know what we've got to do to get on that level of writing to be like on that kind of show.
Listen, Philip K. Dick. Well, that's the thing. Those stories are based off Philip K. Dick stories.
Okay,
And Philip K. Dick was a fucking madman.
What type of drugs do you think he was on?
Oh, all sorts. He wrote. I mean, he wrote like A Scanner Darkly.
Yeah.
And well, he didn't write Blade Runner per se, but he wrote the story that Blade Runner's based off of.
Minority Report,
Total Recall, Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
Like
Savage.
A lot of drugs.
That's good, man.
Like I'm pretty sure the drugs are part of what
motherfucker was woke.
See, like his stuff's immortal. He probably owned the fact that he was a drug addict. You know what I mean? Then you got Stephen King trying to go clean and stuff, and now he's about as left as it gets.
Yeah.
Stephen Cuck,
Yeah. I am excited that they're creating a Dark Tower series, though.
Oh, I am too. When you sent me that.
What's that going to be on?
It's on Amazon. It's going to be on Amazon.
Ooh, hopefully it's not garbage.
Well,
it's not got what's his name, Idris Elba.
Idris Elba as Roland DeChain.
I have a feeling that it's a response. Somebody with money and connections did the same exact thing that we did when we saw the movie. We were like,
I could make something better than
this.
Threw up in
their mouth.
We could fucking. How about? I got an idea. Let's take this money. Yeah. Let's get these people together and let's actually do a good one.
Yeah.
One that doesn't suck shit.
Let's do a good version that people are good. Like, fans of the books will actually like.
Man.
You know what I mean? Let's do one that people are actually going to be like, this looks good.
You know what's uncomfortable for me?
What's that?
And it was a sweet gesture. I get it, But Lady Bones had watched me read all those books twice. Mm-hmm. So she knows what time it is. She bought me the movie for Christmas.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Right.
Did you watch it?
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Dude, it is. Listen.
No, I'm going to tell you, spare yourself. Don't even bother.
I would say watch it as an experiment to see how fucking terrible things can be. Because you might think it's bad until you watch it and you're like, what the fuck?
I know how the doctor's mind operates, though. He might get thoroughly, I got pissed watching it. And I know you did.
Oh, yeah.
He might fucking kill his TV.
Just imagine, if you will, take all the books, right? Put them all on this table here.
Put them in that wood chipper that we just used.
Yeah.
Rip out all, maybe 6 pages from each book, and then put them together and throw up on it. And that's the movie.
Yeah. And take out central characters and plots.
Central characters, plots, change things around,
It's basically only Roland and...
You know what pissed me off about
it, right?
Roland and Jake.
But Jake's only in there for a minute, isn't he?
He's in there quite a bit.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that pissed me off was that not only did they just completely bastardize the fucking book series, they tried to write off the fact that it was so fucking off topic from the original series by saying, "Oh, well, this is another rendition.
It's another dimension."
It's another cycle.
Oh, okay.
It's the cycle renewed, right? They're like, "Oh, well, it's another cycle. That's why it's different."
I mean, if you were to actually read the book, you would know that the cycle just continues over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
Jeez,
I'm sorry, but
yeah. I mean, I get it, but still, there's no fucking.
You realize, I'm going to tell you now, you probably are going to end up on somebody's hit list now for saying that without spoiler alerting first. Because think about it. Imagine, if you will, you are in the last book. You're in the Dark Tower. You're in the last few chapters. And,
God damn it.
You're on your way to work and you're like, oh, Buzz and Tub. They love the show. They're listening. And then you fucking come out there with that shit after 7 fucking books. We're talking
ban this motherfucker forever.
Millions of words read. Millions of words read. You are on somebody's fucking hit list now.
I like to think that that's exactly what's happening right now. Somewhere else in time. When else?
That's like saying some shit. Well, I mean, this isn't really spoiler because, I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen Lord of the Rings. Gollum falls in Mount Doom with the ring and it destroys and fucking Sauron destroys.
What? I didn't know that, man.
You mean they could have just rode the eagles there?
Yeah. The crack addict saved the day.
Yeah. Good looking out.
But nah, so I guess we should probably talk about today's topic.
That's what happens when we haven't hung out in a while. We just end up fucking diarrheaing everything.
Yeah. So I came across this. I was watching this documentary series about Megan McCann. She's a little British girl. Her family was on vacation in Portugal. And they were like, the parents were like, they were like in a resort basically, right? Eating dinner and everything. And they would periodically go check on, they would take turns checking on each other's children because their children were sleeping in their like bungalows or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And Megan McCann's mom went back to check and her daughter was gone. And it was a big search thing. But that's not what we're talking about. That just led me to the Wonderland Club because they talked about it in the documentary series. Because a couple of years before this happened, the Megan McCann thing, the British government and Interpol and a bunch of other police agencies all across Europe simultaneously busted a organization called the Wonderland Club in an operation called Operation Cathedral. A little bit ironic that it's called Operation Cathedral.
Yes, the irony is not lost on me.
Where they arrested countless people throughout Europe who were tied to a elite pedophile ring. And the reason I wanted to do this, talk about this, was because anybody out there that says that this isn't a possibility, that the whole elite pedophile thing isn't a possibility and that's just fake news or anything,
right?
This is what I would cite. Be like, if what I'm saying is fake news, then why did this happen?
Yeah, it's absolutely proven.
They recovered 750,000 videos and images from this bust that was being operated on the dark web. Of those 750,000 different, oh my god, unprofessional
podcast.
Toe Beans,
what do you get?
Dare you?
She knows what we're doing. What's she doing?
Yeah. So, of these 750,000 images and videos, they were able to identify at least 1,600 different children.
God damn.
In these videos and images. Of those 16,000, Interpol compiled a book with basically still images of the children's faces in the hopes of identifying said children. Of those 1,600 that are identified, only 13 have actually been identified by somebody.
Jesus, what?
Now, the reason they talked about it in the Megan McCann thing was because a couple years before she went missing, a little Portuguese boy went missing named Rui Lopez or something like that, right? I'd have to look it up. I'm not looking it up.
We're just shooting the shit, you know?
Yeah. And they were using him as the example of how did they spend so much time looking for Megan McCann when one of our own went missing and we didn't do shit to try to stop it. We didn't do shit like we're doing for Megan McCann, right? And unfortunately, his mother went, because Interpol has that book, and you have to get special permission to look through it. She went to Interpol and looked through the book and found that her son was in fact one of the children in those images.
So, what happened to these motherfuckers, man?
Oh, they all got arrested, set to prison, lock away, throw away the fucking key.
Is it all with an asterisk because someone evaded capture?
This is the thing. This is the only. They didn't necessarily get everybody.
So you said it was an elite ring. What kind of elite people?
Well, we're talking about people in
bankers, lawyers. I mean,
all sorts. People higher up in
politicians,
software programming and stuff like that. It's a kaleidoscope of people from all sorts of walks of life, and they didn't get everybody, but they call themselves the Wonderland Club.
Man, well, I just don't know. It's I think we talked about it before, that time when the FBI got on the deep web and they infiltrated that child porn site. Did we talk about that before?
Yeah.
They basically get on there and they, through some type of coercion, they figured out somebody on the upper echelons of this page, right? And then they find this dude, they press all these charges on him until he rolls, and they get everybody else involved, and then they take over the website. You would expect that if they were running a child porn website, the FBI, they would be keeping logs of shit, they'd be arresting people.
You would think.
All they did was increase the site's traffic by 96% and make a shitload of money.
So basically it's all about money.
There was 5 or 6 people out of that whole investigation that went to jail. They ran that shit for 2 or 3 years. before they shut it down. Add new material. I mean, give me a fucking break. Anybody that can look at you with a straight face and tell you that this is not a real thing has some serious mental gymnastic abilities that I don't have.
Well, like me and Bones were talking about earlier, I listened to this podcast a couple weeks ago. It's called The Criminal. Mm-hmm. It's some NPR podcast. But they talked about this woman named Georgia Tan, who was like abducting children between like 1924 and 1950. And they estimate like 5,000 children were abducted.
God damn.
And like she was abducting like poor children mostly. Yeah. Is how it started. And adopting them out to like rich people, like Hollywood stars and politicians and what have you. They've only recovered like 19 of them. She got found guilty in like 1950, and before her trial, or before the trial was over, she died. Sure. But like that shit was like proven to be real.
Yeah, that's just like over and over again. It's proven.
Yeah, I mean it's happened over and over again, and who knows who they were adopted to? They could have been adopted out to some pedophile rings also back in the early days. You know,
yeah,
the shit's like it goes back for fucking decades.
Definitely not new.
No,
and it's definitely not fake.
This would be my chance again to, if you want, get on Google and go find something about the Podesta emails. Mm-hmm. Just find the actual emails themselves. Read them for yourself.
Man, yeah, I know.
And like, try to go. I don't even want you to go in with a mind thinking that this dude he's definitely talking about fucking children.
Yeah,
like literally fucking children.
Don't think about it that way. Just look at it with virgin eyes.
Try to look at it with virgin eyes and try to tell me that, yeah, he's talking about pizzas.
Right.
And wieners.
Yeah.
Hot dogs.
Nut sauce.
And talking about taking children over to people's houses and that'll be their entertainment.
We'll have the kids in the hot tub.
Right, exactly.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. We get us an order of 5,000 hot dogs here. Stat.
You know, the revolution started over T-Tax and we're letting them fuck kids. So yeah. The fluoride's working really well.
Exactly.
At least we're talking about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get labeled like some crazy tinfoil hat wear if you bring it up. Even though it's been proven time and time again.
I know, it's just...
But then, like, you talk about it and they just act like you're some crazy person. Like, what? That never happens. Children never get abducted.
No, especially
not like in masses like that. I mean, it happens occasionally, but there's not rings of people out there abducting children. You're a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Especially not my favorite politician.
Right.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever.
There's no way he could be involved in something like that.
Right. I don't know, man. I just, I feel it's important to talk about it.
Yeah.
Flush the light out, but it's like, at what point do you just, I mean...
That's why I want to do it, because I feel like at least once or twice a year we need to do an episode about fucking some sort of skeevy pedophile shit.
Yeah.
Just to keep that fucking iron hot.
Well, if anything's an indication of my day-to-day in the news that I received, I'm only going to hate pedophilia more and more.
Yeah. So...
I'm not going to put it out there yet.
No.
But I already know I look forward to the future, and it's just me playing in somebody's blood.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all it's going to be.
I hope you join that club as well.
Oh, you never know. Maybe eventually.
Yes.
Well, we were just talking about earlier. I was like, I don't know what I would do. Like, if like the school called me and was just like, you know, we can't find him.
Sheesh. Yeah. We're about to have a contest of my freedom.
Well, I know the first thing I do is probably throw up.
I mean, those people that were on that vacation, where were they at again?
Portugal.
Right. I mean, they were there for how long waiting for, like, and they were like, we can't find them. It's been fucking weeks. And
well, it didn't help that the Portuguese police...
We got to go home without our kid because, like, you know...
It didn't help that the Portuguese police are fucking hapless as fuck. Like, they shed that out in that documentary. They're fucking about useless.
They probably fucking chose that spot for that reason.
You know, you're on vacation in fucking Cancun or something and your kid comes up missing and, you know, you stay for weeks trying to figure out what the fuck's going on and you have to just go home without it.
Yeah. Well, they stayed.
That's crazy.
They stayed in Portugal for a long time.
For a really long time.
And, like...
you gotta go home sometime.
But the thing is, like... The crazy part is, like, it was only 90 days. It was only 90 days in, and the police were so fucking, like, lost in their conclusions that they just concluded they began to suspect the parents. So they went after the parents to try to, like, say, oh, it was really them. And they brought in corpse dogs and shit, and with the corpse dogs. That's a whole other fucking... Just go on to Netflix and watch that Megan McCann documentary if you can. It's actually pretty good.
I mean, God knows what happened to her.
And that's why the thing is, though, it's been only 10 years.
I mean, she could have got caught up in some Wonderland shit.
For all we know, there's a possibility she's still alive.
Right, in some basement chained up somewhere.
Shit like
or on
that,
the street of Portugal.
Yeah, shit like that happens all the time. Like, where somebody goes missing as a child, and then, like, fucking 10, 15, 20 years later, they, like, show up.
How old was she?
She was 6.
So, I mean, after a few years, she forgets about her old life, and...
Yeah.
You know, it's just a blip in her memory.
I don't even know how you would go on vacation ever again after hearing some shit like that, and you just like not constant, you get constant vigil on your kid. I don't know how you wouldn't have a constant vigil in the first place.
Well, that's the thing, though. If you've been on vacation with your child, I'm here to tell you, unless somebody else is watching your kid, it's not really vacation,
right?
Especially like we go to the beach, and it's like it's a mental check every 30 seconds.
Yeah,
like
if you're not worried about them fucking being taken from someone, you're worried about the undertow taking them under.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Nature, yeah.
But then again, that's the thing, though. Even like going out and about places, like last week we were at Hobby Lobby, and the three of us, me, Tobins, and Jim, were all walking around, and I saw something, like we were walking towards one of the aisles, and I saw something that caught my eye, so I went to look at that, not even thinking, turned around, started looking at it, and I watched him follow her. And I was still looking at something, but then something in the back of my head was like, but what if he stopped somewhere and she kept going?
Yeah.
What are the odds of your child being abducted, though?
So then I freaked out a little bit.
Too high.
I get it, the too high. I struggle with this myself. I mean, I don't want to be like some weird helicopter parent where I'm constantly like hovering over them because I'm worried about some fucking pedophile ring or
right. Well, I mean,
whatever. But I also want to like make sure I want to give them like their own space, but I don't want to, like I said, be some weird fucking helicopter parent because they end up being like some skeevy individuals that we know.
It's just crazy that I don't know. I just don't feel safe with it.
No.
At all.
How can you?
You can't, because even like the ones that they find out about, they get. I mean, maybe not even abducted, but just raped or whatever. Like it's always somebody you trusted.
Yeah. Somebody
that you had no idea was doing it. Like.
Well, it's like
fuck that.
I've already started to have discussions with him about that and stranger danger. You know what I mean? Like you get to a certain age, it's like, hey, if someone approaches you and it's not somebody that you know,
fuck off. Yeah.
And it's not me, or I was like, the fucked up part is like I was talking to Tobins about it, and I was trying to like figure out how I was going to tell him about this, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, if it's not me. Or someone you know, or a police officer. She's like, you can't say police officer. She's like, because these motherfuckers dress up like cops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was,
fucking God, some of them are cops.
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
You got a point there.
It's fucking crazy.
Fuck the police. Somebody had to say it. I got to get out of here, though.
Yeah, it is about time.
So it's kind of a short Ramblecast. Hopefully they enjoyed it, though.
I'm sure they did. Learned a little bit about Wonderland.
Wonderland.
Go look for yourself if you don't know everything.
Listen to us catch up on our trivial bullshit while we sit here and age in the same room.
Yeah. But
times, really.
We'd like to thank y'all for listening.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank the doctor for coming in on the show again.
Helping you work that wood.
Yeah. We hope you tune in next time. We'd like to thank Ryan Sitz for letting us use his music on the show. If you haven't already, you need to go over to that Patreon.
Yeah. Patreon.com/bonesandtubs.
Check us out on Instagram.
Instagram.com/bonesandtubs.
If you're still into it, check us out on Facebook.
Fedbook.com/bonesandtubs. I think so. I post on it still.
Yeah.
But other than that, we hope you all have a good week. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope to see you next time.
Leave us a review on iTunes. We love you.
We really do.
A break in the clouds, a stillness falls around us. What once was so loud became a silence that surrounds us. Don't you feel the sun? You're still so young. It has It's all into. Signs say it's time to move. You have the proof. It's worth what you've been through. Don't you feel the sun? You're still so young. It has begun. Your kingdom come. So off you go into that mystery, your dreams in tow, to claim your destiny. Don't you feel the sun? You're still so young.